And I think one of the other storylines to me that I'm intrigued by is, you look at what we've seen from him, and yes, we all know he's a talented player, but can he win? Can he win the Stanley Cup? And I think that question needs to be asked now because, he's been in the league for more than a half a decade. I like what he said this week, that he's all in, that he is ready to be in it to win it. I think he's going to need his teammates to be in that same mindset as well, right? I mean, he can only control what he can control, but let's see if there's a different player out there on the ice this year because, I think there's a lot of talent there, but I think a lot of people have kind of seen, like, can he break on through to be great, right? There's very good, and then there's great. And I think we're waiting to see if he can make that jump and win the Stanley Cup. All right, to the phones we go. Matthew is on line 4. The whole narrative and the expression being good in the room, right? Chemistry is important with a team. How many times have we seen teams that are absolutely stacked with talent and they fall apart? Why? Because there was just a disconnect within the room. And I know with some reporters and some of the media members asking the kid, saying, hey, you know what, why, how do you endear yourself to teammates more? I don't know if there's ever really an answer. I mean, you can go out and, try to be the best player you can be. That's one way to do it. Personally speaking, I think another great way to do it is buying everybody pizza. Because you know who likes pizza? Everybody, right? Everybody loves pizza. Let's go back to the phones here. Let's go to Brent. Brent is on line 3. All right, let's go around the horn and see what happened elsewhere around the NHL tonight. The Predators were on the road to take on the Sabres. Buffalo powers this one out with a strong game in their own end. Elsewhere on the ice tonight, the Oilers took to the ice to lock up with the Wild. Minnesota turns in a defensive masterpiece in the shutout victory. The Canucks were looking to steal 2 points against the Devils. New Jersey pulverizes the opposition with a big offensive night. Time for a quick break, but we got a lot more coming up on the ice next. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and what went down tonight on the ice. The Blue Jackets faced off with the Stars. Columbus tops the opposition in a fun one. The Hurricanes were hoping to take a bite out of the Rangers. Carolina posts an impressive win in a tightly contested affair. The Red Wings were on the road to take on the Oilers. Detroit trampled the opposition on a night they just couldn't miss the net. Hey, we got to take a quick pause for the cause, but we got a lot more on the other side. Don't even think about leaving us. Okay, everybody, let's take a quick look at some of the final scores around the league tonight. The Flyers took to the ice to battle the Golden Knights. Philadelphia pounds the opposition with a strong offensive display. And a couple more results around the National Hockey League. The Avs were hoping to play spoiler against the Sabres. Colorado tore it up offensively, and they easily come away with the win. The Bruins were hoping their offense would show up in a big way against the Predators. Nashville plastered their opponents with a big offensive output. Lots more puck talk coming your way, and we'll get to it next.